Sydney, lately I've been really into Cape Cod chips. Cape Cod, like sea salt and vinegar. That's an OG classic for me. Remember I used to go in the store and like we get Lay's, we get Ridges or Ripples, whatever you want to call them. Different things for different people. But there's like one time I got Cape Cod chips. I was at the hospital. Someone gave me a small bag. And I remember hearing the crunch and like just the sea salt. And I was like, this is what y'all been hiding? This what y'all been holding out on the brother?
Oh,
Like,
that's your jam?
that's what I've been jamming to. A small can of Pepsi because I'm trying to keep my sugar low. Small can of Pepsi and a little bowl of Cape Cod. Mm-hmm. Yeah, really gets down with that. But that's my jam. And if you want to hear more jams, please submit to us at info@mossmagazine.net and tell us more about your jam and what you've been jamming to lately. Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to Moss Talks. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Mikeisha Kelly-Reilly about her experience as a photographer and company owner. Thank you, Mikeisha, for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to chat with y'all.
So I wanted to dive in real quick. What inspired you to start your company in Mikei Media?
Yeah, so I was actually working for the Armory Foundation in New York. It's located in Fort Washington. It's a track and field facility, and I really had light interests in some photography, but not really. I knew I wanted to be in the digital media marketing space, and I really liked community. So the fact that it was a nonprofit and I got to work with athletes like from the youth level up to professionals was amazing. So I think just working there, I was seeing like gaps in people wanting to focus on branding, especially the professionals, and really diving into their sport. So that's kind of what kickstarted it. They were like, hey, pick up a camera, you got to go shoot out a little bit. And I was like, okay, like we'll figure it out. We'll see what we can do. But the more I did it, the more I fell in love with the stories of the kids that we were serving and the communities that we were building, and being able to work in track and field, which is so tight knit and niche. Yeah, I just fell in love with that aspect of things. And I felt like, okay, maybe I could push this a little bit further. So that's kind of why I started Mikei Media and really diving in on the branding on all aspects of creative and athlete and just all different aspects of life and community.
Was it just what athletes that kind of pushed it? Because I know you said that's where it came from. Because like you were Army Foundation. Was the athletic point of it always something you wanted to do?
Oh no. Let me tell you something. I was a D1 track and field athlete. So I was ready to get rid of sports in general. I feel like that's core to my being. Yes, I was an athlete. I was like an artist first. I was like, yeah, I'm done. Like, loved my athletic experience. My 10 years, they said, wrap it up. But an opportunity came and I was like, no, I really love this place. It's a place I ran for like 10 plus years. I was like, this is awesome. So it kind of fell into my lap. Shout out to Joe Hale, who grew up with me and was like, no, you need to apply to this. And I go, all right, like, we'll see how it goes. And I fell in love. I think because my parents are social workers, I think the community aspect and really giving back is such a huge part of me as a person, but also I feel like the business in and of itself and what I like to do. So yeah, it's not just the athlete piece. I think it is just being able to help people tell their stories in whatever capacity that we can do that.
No, like I love that because also when you think about it, especially like student athletes, like in a way you're helping shape their like branding and their marketing so then eventually they can get like deals or sponsorships.
Absolutely.
So like I think that that aspect of it is just really like special.
Oh, thank you.
So going on my next follow-up, what is one lesson you've learned as a founder of a media company?
Ooh, delegate, delegate, delegate. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I think in the beginning, I was like, you can do everything. And I think everyone kind of starts that way. You're kind of like the solo one, right? I think you learn very quickly you cannot do it by yourself. And I think that's something I'm still learning. It's not like one and done, gone out the door. Something I'm still learning how to do, but I think it's been one of the most important skills in how to network laterally, but then also, yeah, bring more people in so that we can produce products that we think we can do.
Yeah, I agree. Delegation is very important. City has to do that a lot with me, but hey, it's necessary.
And it's also like a lesson we're learning too, because like we recently became a team of four, and like even with that, like we're so grateful to have four of us, but it's like, okay, we need even more people. It's just
Absolutely. Yeah.
so
I'm
much stuff to
like,
do.
I need somebody else
Yeah.
to add to the mix.
So I want to ask, how has your creative style evolved over time?
I would say over time, I think just getting a little bit deeper. I think when you start, it's very like, okay, I see this, I can replicate this. You're kind of like taking inspiration from everywhere. I think getting more in the groove of how I want to see things be produced. And I think that's something that a lot of like some people talk about, but I don't think it's a conversation that's overall like, hey, like finding my style, and I still feel like I'm finding my style. So getting comfortable being like, all right, like let's make a different decision. Let's like change the perspective. Let's shake it up a little bit. Like it's easy to get comfortable, and I really pride myself in not wanting to be super comfortable. I'm like, okay, how can we make this better time over time or year over year with a lot of the clients that I'm working with? So I think that's how I've evolved. I've been like scared to step out the box, but it's okay. You just you gotta try it. And it doesn't have to be for everything, but every once in a while, just be like, okay, how can we push this? That's how it was.
Take risk. Yep. Take risk to grow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, I find it with like every creative, the fear of being stagnant is, I think, in every creative, because it's just like, how do I say, like we all want to achieve a goal, but it's like we don't want to be the same person we were a year ago or when we started. Because like we want to continue like as this thing is constantly growing, even if we're not found, if we haven't found our style, like we want to be better than the pictures we took then or what we did at that point.
Yeah, I think that fits into us as just people in general.
Mhm.
Creative beyond that, right? Like if I'm looking at stuff from 5 years ago and I'm like, yeah, girl, like we got to step it up. Like, I think if we're not trying to grow, like kind of what are we doing? Not in a nasty way, not in like 365 grind kind of way, but like, yeah, like let's try to grow and adapt and see where we can make some improvements.
I say, yeah, it got, in my mind, I keep thinking about like how relationships, people always talk about get you to get back.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing. But my next question is there a piece of the process you love most? Like, do you love editing, setup, breakdown? What's your favorite part of the process?
I really love to mood board. I don't, there's something that's so calming about like the mood board storyboard process. I just think when you actually have time, because sports, you don't really be having that much time to do all that sometimes. Just be like quick sheet of paper and like do it. But I think that process is really cool, especially when you get to cross connect with other creatives and see where their mind's at and like to create something really beautiful. I think yeah, and how people storyboard or mood board in different ways and like to create something that's really magical. I love it. I love that brainstorming, that initial session that's like, wow, like let's shoot for the stars. Let's figure out how we can really mash this up. So yeah, that's me.
How do you storyboard? Like, are you pulling pictures and like kind of collaging them? Is it words? Like, what's your process?
I'm a Pinterest girl through and through, been from the beginning. Okay. Don't let that application die because I will be sad. No, I'm a big Pinterest girl. I'm big into decks, like pitch decks, and like I think that's the graphic designer in me. So I think just being able to see it and set it up in a way where you're like, okay, this is my process, this is my story. These are maybe words that inspire the things that we're doing. I think that came from agency life, and really, I think just that was a skill I had to learn. So I think it's now one of my favorite parts of the process. So shout out to like my creative director there. He really was like, no, like if you can mood board and like really get your client to understand your process before you even start, I think that's an amazing thing to do. So,
Yeah, it's how you sell it, honestly.
oh yeah.
So I want to ask, what's the best piece of advice you've received as someone in the creative industry?
I think it's been, even if you fail, do it again. And failing can mean a bunch of different things. Yeah, everyone's the podcast, right there. Because I think sometimes we're really hard on ourselves. And I mean, any creative, I think, can speak to that. Some people are uber confident. I love that for them. But sometimes, you feel like you failed and you're like, what happened? I think just assessing and trying that process again at some point doesn't need to be immediately, but figuring out how to do it again so you can get past it, I think is a really important part of the process. Reflection is big for me. So being able to like recoup after an event or recoup after shoot, what went right, what went wrong, and how do we move on from that? I think the football guys are really good at that, especially I work with quarterbacks, and I feel like they're always like focused on the next play. I feel like that is a perfect example of how you get it done. Like, all right, you can evaluate what was wrong. You're gonna do it again. Like, you gotta get back out there. So you gotta do it again, figure it out, and push forward so that it's not stuck on you. Because I feel like that happens a lot as well with the creative process.
That just hit home low key with the quarterback because like I love sports. Like, sorry, I'm a bird out here, but
No, come on, I like it.
so like when I think about like in sports, quarterbacks, like every athlete has to have that mentality of the next play. Like whether it's the next shot, it's the next pass, it's the next catch. Like it's always that thing that you have to keep moving, or you're gonna have a bad game. You're gonna have a bad day, or even if you do have a bad day, it's like the next game. You're like, how can I improve upon what happened yesterday? And one quote that I was, well, not really a quote, but everybody knows it by now, where Denzel always talks about failing forward, and that just like means so much to me because the way it sounds doesn't sound that proactive, but when you think about it, it's when you're saying failing forward, like yeah, you had a bad game, yeah, you had a bad day, but how are we going to move on to the next day? How are we going to move on to what's going on next? And I think that's just so empowering, so empowering.
Shout out to my quarterbacks. They're really good. But yeah, that was one thing I've taken away from them where I'm like, all right, like we just gotta keep pushing.
So, to wrap it up, what are you dreaming of doing next? And this can be professionally or it could be personally.
So many things. I've been really excited, and I know this is gonna debut later on, but I've been really excited to dive into the world of football. Again, not a space that I imagined myself being in at all. Mind you, I said no sports. I don't know what happened. So I think that aspect of things have been really cool. And I think also just, yeah, doing things like this, like podcasts and really like talking about my story, I think it makes me excited, but very uncomfy. So we're working on really putting myself out there and talking a lot more because I think that is helpful in the process and things I do one-on-one, but I think I need to expand outward. So I think that's going to be a really exciting treat. So I'm happy that y'all are a part of that. So
Yes, of
Yes,
course. My favorite part of like all these conversations are really just hearing people talk and like tell their story in their own words because not only do you understand why they're doing what they're doing, but like you can see the passion, you can hear it from them, and then like you just get a taste of their personality, and like that just makes everything more personable. So happy to help.
no, thank you, thank you, thank you.
So we're gonna move on to a segment we like to do, and it is basically called Quickfire. And so I'm gonna ask you 5 questions, and you just say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay, is it just like a word, a phrase? I'm scared, but
A word or a phrase. I promise they're not hard. Just whatever comes to you first.
no, I'm excited, but I'm nervous. So okay, let's do it.
Okay. First camera you ever owned.
Oh, Sony A7 III.
A song always on your playlist.
Am I allowed to swear on here? No. So Crazy Bitch, Limp Bizkit was the first one that came to my head, but that's like a little wild. So that's it.
I love it. Control everything or have a team that does it for you.
Oh, a team that does it for me.
Mhm.
Right.
Natural light or professional lighting.
Natural light.
And then piece of gear you can't live without.
My SD cards.
Oh, that's so good.
I have those strapped up. Like, I'm scared.
Multiple on deck.
Yeah, they be laughing at me. I have my whole case with me. They're like, Mikeisha, you don't need all of those SD cards. I say, we don't. But what if I did?
So that's the thing. When people always offer their opinion, be like, you think I don't need it. Like you thought I don't need it. But Joel walked out the house, he was like, he needs it. So
I need my security. Okay.
exactly.
And then they're like, what if you lose the whole thing? I said, we didn't think that far. We don't
We're
think
not
about
worried
that.
about that. See, that's nothing. I'm glad you brought it up. When people put bad energy out in the air, like, don't tell me that. Don't say that.
Like, I didn't ask for all that. I had my security. You asked about it to answer the question. I'm scared.
Oh my God. Going back to the
Choo-choo. I'm sorry.
going back to the first question, you said a Sony AC3, right?
A7 III.
Oh, A7 III. Sorry.
No, all good.
So since that was your first camera, I want to know like I imagine now you have like a very good professional setup now. So like kind of what was that, I guess, evolution from going to like your starter camera to what you're working on now?
So, okay, so maybe it wasn't the A7 because that was the first one I bought. So
Mm,
I feel that's real. That's not a
yeah.
lie. I promise. I'm trying to think of the first camera. It was a Sony, like probably RX10 or something. That's like what
Mhm.
I worked with at the Armory. I think that was the evolution. Literally, when I bought my own camera and I really wanted to cry because of how expensive it was, I was so excited. Funny enough, can I tell a story? Can I tell me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to. So I work for Penn Relays. I'm like I do a lot of like their content, and, like help them run things. So I thought I was gonna need a camera on site, and I didn't for that event. I was like, okay, cool. I got into this Black Woman Photographers event for pre-classic, which was amazing, literally life-changing experience. Loved it. But I didn't really think about, I could rent a camera. So I was like, I gotta buy one right now. Like this is the dream. We're out. Like we're gone. So I bought my camera in a 70 to 200, and I was like, all right, we lit. Like we're here now. Like this is what we're doing. So that's literally how I bought my camera. I had been working on a company camera, and I just impromptu I got into this I don't even know what to call it, a fellowship, I guess, if you will. It's like to work this event. And I was like, yeah, I gotta buy my camera now. Like this is what
It's
we're doing.
real.
Yeah, I was like, well, here we are. That's a wrap. So,
I would say that's one of the worst things. That's one of the most impulsive buys. Because like you go to an event, you'll talk to all these people. They're like, "Yeah, I have this. Oh yeah, I have the new Canon. Oh yeah, I just bought a new Fujifilm." Like, and I'm looking at Mikey when I get home. Like,
no, I was like, they're like, you could have just rented that, right? Like you're just starting. I was like, that's really smart. Like that would have been really helpful 24, 48 hours
yeah,
ago.
exactly.
But you're here now,
But
so
we're
we
here
gonna
now.
use it.
Listen, we're still working. So I was like, we're
Yeah.
gonna make this work. So that is my first camera buy story. Yeah, no, I still use that to shoot. I really love that camera. I will upgrade eventually, but I like to play around with like a little bit of film. I'm a big like Polaroid girl, so I like to expand on that. So I think just finding different ways and mediums. So no, I'm old faithful with my girl over there until further notice because she's still working to pay off her rent.
I was about to say
Mm-hmm.
the A7 III. I would say, in my opinion, it's not a beginner camera. It,
Go big or go home.
no, true.
So I said I know what I want. I talked to so many people and I was like, I need a camera that's gonna last me a minute. And yeah, they were like, this is it. So, Eddie. And I did that. So I hope that gives y'all a good laugh because
No, it did.
that's how that happened.
It did. And it's a word because like I feel like it's okay to just use what you got, like use it for a few years. You don't always have to go get out the latest, newest thing. Like your camera works and you can make magic with it.
Yeah, listen, I'll find a lens. I'll rent that bad boy quick because that's my girl now. That's all we have. So I will rent that equipment. I 10 out of 10 recommend first timers. Okay. You guys want to upgrade, try it out, try before you buy. That is my advice.
Last follow-up, that song that's always on your playlist. Please do tell.
You know, I I love a variety of different music. I don't know why that's probably what I was most recently listening to. But yeah, that's a good song. It reminds me of like a Coyote Ugly scene. Like if you really just listen to it after this call. It's like a Coyote Ugly scene. And I'm like, yeah, I just feel bad. Like I'm ready to run up. Like I know there's a lot of songs that make me feel bad, but that makes me want to just run amok. And I feel good. No questions, only answers, I guess.
I mean, I like that. You need that sometimes when you are working to get through the day.
Get through the day.
This has been a great conversation with Mikeisha. Please check her out on all forms of media. Please run her socials up. Check out our company. Please just really listen. Just pay attention. That's what we're asking. Pay attention to the stool. What's going on? I don't really do that. I'm sorry. I don't really do that. That's harsh. That's
That was good.
I liked it. Listen, personality. We like it.
I'm gonna keep it. You don't gotta redo it.
But yeah, check out our socials, and by all means, check out the podcast as well and listen to our next episodes. But that was a great conversation with Mikeisha, with Mikei Media. So talented, so amazing. Things don't progress without a team, or the progression is easier with the team.
Yes, absolutely. Because if you try to do it all, you run yourself into the ground.
Is that what they say? If you want to go fast, go alone, or if you want to go far, go together.
Why do you like know all these random quotes?
It's just rooted to my past. It's just rooted to my parents, because my parents used to have where we would sit down and like we would read the Bible, and like we would sit down and like talk about the Bible, like what we read or like what was going on. It's like,
So you're so good at metaphors.
I say, yeah, that just comes from church.
Mhm.
You hang around church for long enough, or you hang around my dad, you'll see it. You'll see it. But like, see what I'm coming with. But yeah, I think we've learned that more than anything, because as we've grown with our team, like they've taught us so much. Like even the short time they've been with us, or even, I don't know how long it's actually been on the dot, but it's been a little while now. But they taught us a lot. Like when we had in our recent meeting, we had, if it wasn't for them being there, I feel like we wouldn't have had some ideas that were brought up.
If it wasn't for them, y'all, we would not be sitting here on this podcast right now.
Yeah, we wouldn't have a podcast. That'd be point blank. Period. We would not have a podcast, because as much as we love certain podcasts, we don't want to be one of those podcasts. So that was why we probably would never have done it, because there's a fear of being in that area.
Perceived in that way.
Yeah.
And we also probably wouldn't have gotten our newsletter out like we're doing now, because that takes a lot of work. But again, we couldn't do that without them. So
I agree. Yeah.
Or y'all, we would not be active on social media without the team.
Yeah. You wouldn't be as active as we are now. Yeah. Shout out to the team, man. Shout out to the team. Big things coming. Shout out to the team. Like, literally can't say it enough. Can't do enough to show them appreciation. Hopefully they listen to this when this comes out.
Yes.
They will. But yeah. Shout out to the team. Literally, like, win, lose, or draw, we got it. We got a great team. We got a great team. That's all I gotta say. We got a great team, man. Like 98 Bulls, 96 Bulls.
I mean, I'm very excited for the day when we can grow even more, and that takes more off our plate, because we'll be working with people we trust. I mean, we trust our team now, but we'll be working with even more people we trust to actually project our, vision and things like that, so we can take a break.
Yeah, our team's like 2020, 2024, 25 Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to the team, man. Shout out to the team. Ain't got to blitz the whole game and still got a great defense. Run may not be working, but we're making these touchdowns. Don't worry.
You're speaking in a language I don't know.
It's okay. Some people catch it. Some people catch. Somebody out there. You've seen those live streams with the church services, and they'll be like, if somebody out there catch it, somebody out there catches words going out, or like they'll throw something out in the live stream, like they'll say something like they're throwing it out, as soon as like somebody catch it.
I do not watch live stream services.
I don't anymore either, but it's just hilarious. That's how it be. Like, and I commend them for that, because you really got to get people into it. Like in a live stream, you really got to get people into it and be like, hey, like, let's do this. Like, come on, like, get it together.
I don't know. Someone's shouting at me through the TV to catch it. I don't think I'm gonna catch it.
Well, by that time, you got to be worked up. There's a certain point to get to that point. So you'll be worked up by that time. But you'll be in the spirit. Surround yourself with good people, and be careful. Well, yeah, be careful who you surround yourself with.
Have discernment. Not everybody is your friend, nor should they be.
Yeah, You're gonna upset some people, and that's just gonna happen. That's a part of life. You're gonna leave some people behind.
Yes.
That's a part of life as well.
That is
And then-
something we're learning too. We're being strict, y'all, because we're a business. We don't play.
And there are gonna be people that only could be there for a day, or a week, or a month, or even just a small time in your life. And it's very important that you treat them the best you can for the time that they're there. Like try to make it whenever they leave or whenever it ends, that it's just a smooth sailing.
Also know when to end it.
You know what?
Know when to end it.
Oh yeah, very important. Very important. Be aware of the time you're in, because if someone's constantly not showing up for you, just let it go. Let it go. Like I saw this on a tweet, and this is the thing. What's relationships? I'm touching this lightly, very lightly, but people cheat. Like if it takes you so much to cheat, then just leave. Like that's the thing. That'd be killing me. Like if you doing these leaps and bounds, like trying to hide all these certain things, just leave. Like it's more comforting to tell somebody that you're like you don't want to be here than to have them pick up on signs that you don't want to be there. So communicate effectively. That's the thing too. When you have
Oh my God. I'm gonna need all of y'all out there listening. If you don't learn anything else, if you don't hear anything else, hear this. Communicate effectively, clearly, strongly. Okay? Especially if you're creative trying to make it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but we can't all just send DMs all the time. You need an email. You need to check your email. You need to know how to write and send an email. You need to know what to ask for what you want. You know how to ask questions. You know how to clarify things. Please, I know we are in an age where we are constantly on our phones and we're just texting all the time, but go back to your roots. Think about them English papers, please. Learn how to actually present yourself, like just know how to present yourself and represent yourself and tell your story.
Think about it like this. This is one of the ways I think about it when I'm sending an email or a text to a client or anything that requires any valuable time of interaction. Think about it like when we were growing up, we had minutes. We had minutes on our phone. So if you send a text, that's a couple minutes gone. So you need to treat every minute, every text like it's one of those minutes, because if you don't send it right, you wasting time.
Include all the information you need to include. I don't care how big you get. Have a manager who will communicate for you. There's no reason for it to be hard to contact you, to just coordinate with you. If you are creative and this is something you want to do, I'm sorry, you gotta know how to communicate. Until you can get a manager who does it for you, you have to do it. Otherwise, all these opportunities are passing you by. Because personally, for us, now that we're growing as we are, if you don't know how to communicate, get things handled, we're moving on. Because we don't have time to play circles, go around in circles or anything like that. So,
And I want to follow that up with this. People are always scared to ask questions.
yeah, don't
Ask a
be.
question. Ask a
Yeah.
question. Like literally, the worst thing somebody can say is no. And then like if you don't ask the question, you already have an automatic no. So just ask the question. You could have asked it 2 minutes ago when you're thinking about it.
Y'all, we code email all the time because the worst thing that happens is they don't email us back. But guess what? They wouldn't do that anyways, just like Joel said. So ask a question, put yourself out there.
Even like I would say, worst case scenario, they take the question the wrong way. But like at least you asked it. Like you can apologize for that later, but at least you asked it.
You can always clarify.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. I don't want to touch on that too. Don't take emails, texts, don't take them too seriously. Yes, they're a part of business. They need to be taken to a certain level of seriousness, but don't take them so serious to where you're making it personal.
Yeah, don't be offended.
Yeah.
because it's hard to tell tone over written
Mhm.
text, but you know,
Exactly, because like this is the thing, like this happened multiple times with me where I'll send a text or like the person will be texting me, and like it's just part of the mind where you're like, what do they mean by this? What do they mean by this? But then it's like you hop on that phone call, or you see them in person, it's like, oh, that's what you mean, like this, like it's all understanding now. Like really, it's just communicate effectively. Even send a voice note. That's another thing. Send a voice note.
but
That
not a 15 long one.
not to us, but to but like literally, if you're texting a client or someone that you're doing business with, send a voice note if you cannot make a call. They understand a lot with the voice note because it makes it more it makes it more like easier for them to understand because they're hearing your tone. They're probably having in their mind the idea of how you're doing your mannerisms. Literally just make it easier on yourself, even if you have to prop up your phone and do a video at your desk.
And it's a reminder that we are all humans talking to other humans as well. Like, there is a person sitting behind that screen. Um, so just be mindful of that too when you are communicating effectively. Um, think about how the other person would perceive it or how it would make them feel. And then also remember, like, they are a person too who is trying to run their business or whatever. And that you both should have the same goal when it comes to working together or partnering or collabing or anything.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're all humans. We're all people, like Sydney said. So just treat everyone how they should be treated, like a human. Until like, unless they do something crazy, just do your best to be yourself up to that point.
We hope you enjoyed our PSA.
And our podcast. Please check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. Find us and support us, and of course, support Mikeisha as well. Spin Boss Talks. I hope you have a great day.